Hello Libra, and welcome to my channel Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements, looking at your recent past, your current energy, and your immediate future, answering the question, what do you need to know right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self? Friendly reminder that these are general readings. They are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone, so do please remember to take what does resonate, if anything, and leave what does not. Last thing is that any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading or coaching session with me is in the description box below. All right, Libra, let's jump on in. Let's start with looking at your recent past. What has Libra been dealing with recently, and what does Libra need to know about it? Recent past for Libra, please. Changes with strength. Okay. And knowledge. I feel like there were, because then you have transformation. So I feel like there have been, just to kind of put it like literally, I feel like you've been going through changes that have required you to tap into a deeper level of strength. And I feel like those changes have in some ways like kind of changed you, and not necessarily in a bad way, but I feel like you have gained a lot of strength and a lot of knowledge through whatever this kind of change that you're going through. And I feel like it's probably been like almost equally as challenging as it will be beneficial. So however difficult it's been, I feel like the payoff is like equally as good, if that makes sense. But let's see. Actually, I've been taking 2 cards for this recently because it kind of helps give me a little bit more insight in the messages as we keep going, especially when I get into tarot. So what does Libra need to know about their current energy? And I feel like these could be changes that you've made a decision to make, or specifically maybe one change that you've made a decision to make, or changes that felt very out of your control. Either or. So where's Libra at right now? You have releasing. What else? This is definitely this energy of kind of releasing things from your life that don't really serve you. People, habits, paths in general. And maybe that's what these changes have led to, is kind of having to let go a lot. Like I feel like I'm talking to a collective who's been having to do a lot of letting go of control, letting go of the past, things of that nature. Now you have this take a risk card. So I feel like wherever you're headed, it's requiring you to have a lot of faith and a lot of belief, like not just in yourself, but in maybe a higher power or a spiritual connection of your own understanding, because I feel like this is definitely like with this intuition card, whatever path that you're on, it's requiring you or asking you to listen to your intuition very aggressively. It's almost like, you're being asked to listen to your intuition above all else right now, like what other people think or what other people want for you, or other people's opinions, or maybe even what like your mind or your ego desires, because your ego tends to kind of desire what's predictable and what's familiar, and sometimes that can be old patterns or situations that don't really serve you. So I feel like you are being asked to really listen to yourself right now. I feel like that's the biggest reminder you need to know, is that you know what's best for you. Like you, at the end of the day, you are the only person who knows what's best for you. And those answers, it's not to say that you shouldn't ask for advice or guidance. That's important too. But like if you are making a decision or heading down a certain path right now, I feel like you are being asked, like I said, to like really trust yourself in this path. And I think that that's ultimately going to pay off in the end. But it's going to be kind of this test of, I don't like the word test, but this test of trust in yourself, this test of intuition, which really is just like more, the more that we learn to lean on our intuitive guidance, the more that we learn to lean on those answers that do lie within us, the easier it is for us to both get into and stay in alignment, which is typically where our manifestation power is the strongest. And that's where we're able to really create, good things for ourselves. But our intuition might take us places that we're very not used to. So your intuition will require you to break out of old habits or old mentalities or, kind of break out of old spaces. So where is this all taking Libra? What does Libra need to know about their immediate future as they move forward? It's like you already have the answers that you need. You have the past. This is definitely this energy of not letting the past hold you back. Don't let your past be a blockage. And then you have this support with synchronicity. I've been seeing the support card a lot in future energy. It's been coming out a lot. And I feel like that's just this reminder that we will always have all of the support that we need. As long as we're willing to believe in that support. I think that that's kind of the tricky thing. One of what's become one of my favorite quotes is by a philosopher named Joseph Campbell. And he said, take one step toward the gods and they will take 10 toward you. We often wait on the support of the universe, but the more that we take steps in that support, which is kind of where like trusting your intuition and trusting that inner guidance system above all else really comes into play. Because when we trust it, the universe meets you there. It's like, you take one step toward the universe meets you 10 times over. But the problem is that we tend to want to see proof of that support before we kind of take steps in the direction of it, but that's not really the way that it works. And so I feel like this is about breaking out of your past. It's almost like doing things different than you ever really have before, taking new risks, opening up to new experiences, and being open to, like I kind of just said, but doing things differently and trusting that that's going to take you to different outcomes. Because it's almost like the old things that you were investing in or the old ways that you were investing in things, like those weren't going to get you to where you wanted to be, which is why I feel like certain changes had to take place to lead you to almost like this feels like divine redirection, to maybe a new path or, new just energies in general. And I feel like as you're letting go of the old and making room for the new, you might feel kind of drawn back to the old, because again, what's old is typically what is familiar. And sometimes we then start to look at the past through rose-colored glasses and we start going, well, maybe it wasn't so bad, or maybe that's better than nothing, right? Or better than, I don't know, whatever the case might be for you. And I feel like that's why right now you're being asked to listen to your intuition above all else. Because again, your ego and just in general, the way that your brain is wired for staying in what is familiar and what is comfortable, even if it isn't what's best for you. But there's a reason that I feel like certain changes have taken place in your life. It's almost like, the universe is trying to lead you to bigger and better things. So trust in the direction that you're going right now, even if it's scary, even if there's a lot of unknown, because I feel like both of these cards I noticed were very dark, kind of that darker energy. And I feel like you could be feeling a little bit lost right now. Things could be very uncertain. And sometimes when we're in that energy, it can feel really daunting and really scary. But sometimes being in that energy can end up being some of the best things for us, because being in the unknown kind of gives you this ability to create, right? You can create different, and you can, you know, open up to new. And I feel like that's what you're really being asked to do. But again, coming back to this intuition card, like I just keep getting drawn back to it. I feel like listening to your intuition is so important right now, because I feel like there could be a lot of different energies telling you to do different things. And like I said, at the end of the day, you know what's best for you. You know what the right answer is. And I feel like you already have the right answer. I just feel like there might be this energy of like second guessing it, or not trusting yourself or spirit, God, higher self, you know, your spiritual connection as much as you're needing to. Okay, overall theme of this reading for Libra. What does Libra need to know? You have divinity and friendship with trust. Okay, saying this support here and this friendship card, like this could also be this need to really lean on the support that you have around you right now. Like, know that you are not alone, and really trust in that support too. Now, this divinity card is interesting too, because I feel like this is really talking about not just, like, I feel like the divinity aspect of this is so present in this reading in terms of like the divine support that you have. And I feel like it's almost like if you knew you were as supported and guided as you are, it's almost like you would be shocked. Like you would be like, wow, that's crazy. I can't believe I ever questioned it. If you like really knew how much you are divinely guided. But I feel like it's hard because a lot of times when things are happening a certain way and we don't, you know, they're not happening the way that like our mind thinks that it needs to happen, our first kind of reaction is I'm not supported or I'm not divinely guided. And we tend to kind of shut ourselves off to that support. But I feel like there's this need for you to know that, I don't know, it's like you're so surrounded by divine support. In addition to that, it's like, not only do you have that support, the divine support, but I feel like that's what this friendship card, why it's kind of paired with this friendship card, is like you have just as much support in the 3D as well. I feel like the biggest thing in this reading, Libra, is you need to know you are absolutely not alone, and you can trust whatever support is appearing in your life at this time. Especially maybe you have kind of a difficult time trusting. I don't know, but trusting yourself too, I think, is also a key message in this. But let's dive a little bit deeper. That was just the overall energy. So let's dive into tarot. Let's start by looking at this past energy here. You have strength with changes. What does Libra need to know about their past energy? This is an interesting reading because it's almost like I'm speaking to a collective that it's like you know what you need to do, or you have all the right answers, but it's almost like you're questioning them or doubting them because you don't think that, like, maybe you feel very alone, or you feel like maybe there's a fear of failure or fear that you're wrong in some way. And I feel like that's where this trust is kind of coming into play. All right. Past energy for Libra. What does Libra need to know? The Tower. And I kind of felt that kind of shake up energy too with this changes card. Like I feel like, you know, the Tower is kind of, it's very emotionally charged. It's this feeling that, you know, it can sometimes even feel like our life is falling apart. It feels a little bit like disaster. And sometimes it can, because there's the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. Sometimes it can drastically change the course of our life. And I feel like, because this 10 of Wands is this energy of heaviness. It's like things have been very heavy and very challenging. And it's been just kind of just in general like this uphill battle kind of energy. And I feel this 8 of Pentacles in reverse can be this indication of feeling like no matter how much you try or no matter what you do, like just feeling like it doesn't matter. And sometimes we don't realize that the work that we're putting into whatever the case it might be, a job, a path, a relationship, ourself, like it's not that the work is going in vain. It's not that the effort is going in vain. It's that there's some other outcome that might be leading us toward that isn't necessarily the one that we have in mind. And I think that that's what divine redirection is really all about, is it's not saying you've wasted your time in a certain path or like you shouldn't have spent your time and energy there. A lot of times, like we're in certain places because we need to learn from them or grow from them. Like you wouldn't know what you know now if you hadn't gone through what you've been through, right? You wouldn't be the person you are. You wouldn't have experienced the things that you did. And sometimes we have to be willing to really look at what we've been through that lens instead of going, oh, I wish that wouldn't have happened, or I wish I wouldn't have done that, or I wish I wouldn't have wasted my time or whatever. I think we tend to do that a lot with like relationships. You know, we'll be like, I can't believe I stayed in that relationship for so long. I feel like I wasted my time. But no, there's a Taylor Swift lyric. It's like, love is never lost when perspective is earned. And I love that lyric. And just in general, that concept, like no time is lost, no love is lost. Like no, if you gain perspective and you gain growth or whatever the case might be from a certain situation, like it's worthwhile. And I think that whatever you've kind of been through, I don't want to say like you were meant to go through it, because I think that sometimes that can diminish whatever painful experience it was. Because I'm not necessarily saying like you should be grateful for this or anything like that. But I think that sometimes when we're willing to take what we've been through and transmute it into something positive, that's where we're really able to create, it's like make lemonade out of lemons, right? Like I think that you have a lot of reasons to be frustrated for sure. But I also think that everything, it almost feels like, has happened the way that it's supposed to ultimately get you to where you're wanting to go. But again, I don't want that to be invalidating of your experience, because I do think that, again, whatever this has, it's almost like you've gained so much strength from this that now the strength that you possess is going to take you so far. And you wouldn't have this strength and you wouldn't have, like I said, like be the person that you are if you hadn't gone through these things. But also at the same time, it's like that doesn't make it fair, right? It's not like, again, you should be grateful for all the crappy things that happen. But I think that sometimes we can find gratitude in the experience when we do look at it through the lens of what it's taught us or what it's given us at the end of the day. All right, current energy for Libra, intuition with releasing. Because I feel like you're really, like I said, being asked to let go of a lot and step into a very new beginning for you. And I think that can come with so many emotions, and all of those emotions are valid. But I do feel like this is really about like kind of just trusting the process and trusting the timing of your life, and really trust that like everything is happening exactly as it's supposed to. You are exactly where you're meant to be, like you're good kind of thing. All right, current energy for Libra, intuition with releasing. Even if you're not where you want to be, you're exactly where you need to be to get you to where you want to be. Current energy for Libra, please. The Ace of Cups. I don't know what that's talking about yet. Seven of Cups in reverse. I don't know what that's talking about yet either. A choice of some sort, needing to make not necessarily a choice. That's not the right word. Oh my God. Maybe it is a choice, because literally there's the Two of Swords. So maybe it's like, I said, maybe not a choice. And it's like, yes, it's a choice. What else? Okay. The King of Cups in reverse. What? Okay. I mean, this Two of Swords, so there's a choice you need to make, a decision you need to make about something. And it's almost like committing to a certain decision, maybe something but it's like you already have the answer. You already know what the right decision is. But like you make the decision, you realize what's best for you or like what the right answer is, and then you feel like you go back to second guessing. You're like, well, I don't know. And you start to, what did I read once? It was like you already know that Seven of Cups. I just turned it upside down without even, or right side up without even realizing it. So I guess that's a right side up card. It was like you already know what the right choice is, but you second guess it because of the short-term discomfort that might require you to feel. So like, you know, sometimes when it comes to relationships that don't serve us or jobs that don't serve us, like we'll have days where like, I'm done, like I can't do this anymore. I know that this isn't what's best for me, like this isn't good for me. But then we second guess it because we, so much just came through. We second guess it because then the fear arises, or the fear of the short-term discomfort arises, or whatever the case might be. But what I was going to say, you've come too far. You've come too far. And that should help you make the choice. It's like you've come too far to go backwards, or you've come too far. Because, again, this is requiring you to follow your intuition into new territory, right? And you've already been through so many changes, and you've grown, and you've evolved, and you've acquired so much strength, and it's like you've come too far. I don't know if it's like to give up now, or like you've come too far to not choose this path or something, because it really feels like there's this choice. Who had a reading like this? I don't remember. Might have been Capricorn. So if you have Capricorn in your chart, maybe, might not be though. It's like you have this choice of like evolve or repeat. This seems to really be a theme right now. It's like cycles are either closing or starting again. And it feels like you have this choice in your life to evolve or repeat, to choose to do things different, to follow your intuition into the unknown, or to go backwards, or to stay where you're at. And you're really being asked to choose the path that brings you the most excitement, but maybe also equally the most fear. Brings you the most excitement, but also equally the most fear. So like starting a business, it's like, yeah, that sounds really good and that's really exciting, but like, what if I fail, right? Or leaving a relationship to open up to something that is going to be better for you, right? It's like, that sounds amazing, but like, what if nothing else comes along? You know, what if nothing better comes along? There's so many different, those are not the only two scenarios you could be dealing with. There's so many different ways that this could be appearing in your life, but it's almost like, because again, you have this releasing with intuition. So you're being asked to release something old to make room for something new. But it's a decision that's requiring you to have to make it despite the fear and the uncertainty associated with it. And you already know it's the right decision for you. You already know. Let go of something old, make room for something new. You already know it's the right decision. But and I feel like you've made it 100 times over. It's like you know this is the right decision, but then you always go back to like second guessing it. It's like that's going to keep you stuck in this loop, right? And maybe that's where like really trusting yourself is coming into play, because I feel like with this Ace of Cups, it's almost like there are aligned opportunities here that are meant for you that you're unaware of, but these opportunities cannot find you if you're staying where you're at or if you go back to where you've been. And again, it's like you've come too far. Like you've come too far. Why not keep going in this direction that you're headed? This King of Cups in reverse, however, and the reason I was like staring at this for a while because I was trying to figure out who the hell this is you. This is your voice in your head. This is the way that you tell yourself that you can't do it, that you're not good enough, that it's not possible. This is what you're fighting against. It's like your biggest enemy in all of this, Libra, is you. Your biggest enemy in all of this is you. And it's all of the doubt that you hold within yourself when it comes to like making some decision, some life decision. And again, like, it's like, think back to what you've been through. Because you don't want to go back to the past. You don't want to go back to how things were. Because that wasn't where, again, it was heavy. You felt maybe even undervalued, or like no matter how hard you try, like it didn't like matter. It's like you don't want to go back there. There's nothing for you in the past. Everything that is meant for you is ahead of you. And you're very supported in this path. Immediate future for Libra. What does Libra need to know moving forward? It's like you're looking for an answer, but you already have it. You're looking for an answer, but you already have it. It's like I don't know. Okay. What does Libra need to know moving forward? I was going to say something, but then it didn't feel right, so I did say it. Okay, immediate future for Libra. Oh my gosh, Wheel of Fortune. So the universe is trying to turn the wheel in your favor. It's trying to make miracles happen in your life, like trying to make cool things happen, good things happen. But there's this energy of holding yourself back a little bit. Now, that's common and that's understandable. We tend to do it whenever we fear the unknown. Yeah, because there you are. Queen of Swords. What else? Oh, Queen of Wands. And whether you're male or female, it doesn't matter, because there's the opportunity. This is about investing in the opportunity before the opportunity exists. I talk about this a lot on my channel, and I teach this to the clients that I work with in terms of like when I do manifestation sessions. And one of the number one keys to creating what it is that you want is to act as if it already exists. To act as if there is absolutely no way that whatever it is that you desire is not going to happen. And what that does is that requires you to, first of all, you will say no to anything that isn't that, right? So you're not going to settle, you're not going to lower your standards, you're not going to, hold back from what it is you truly desire. And second of all, it's going to teach you to take actions toward it, despite the fear and despite the doubt. So whatever this is talking about, because whatever decision this is asking you to make, I feel like it's asking you to believe in something you're unsure of, to believe that, leaving your job, to believe that a better job exists. And I'm not saying do that, okay? Or leave a relationship that isn't serving you or making you happy, but you'd have to believe that a better one exists. It's like you need to believe in better opportunities in order to make this decision. And that's the thing that's holding you back, is the fear that better opportunities are not going to come. But I feel like first of all, what you need to know is that whatever you wish to create, manifest in this life is absolutely 100% possible. But the extent to which you're capable of creating it is going to directly depend on your belief and your ability to create it. That's why, when you talk about manifestation, it's easier to manifest things like a cup of coffee, because that's realistic for you. You've experienced it before. You can go out and buy one right now. Or for the most part, it's not that difficult to obtain. So it's like, yeah, I can manifest a cup of coffee. It's easy for me to believe and picture myself having a cup of coffee. I know what it feels like. But when it comes to like manifesting the love that you desire, or the financial abundance that you desire, or a career that makes you feel good about your life, like those things probably feel way more out of reach because you've never experienced them before. So then we start to go, oh, well, that's too good to be true. And since what I desire is too good to be true, instead I'm going to make decisions based on what I think is possible, which is going to limit us to the reality that we're used to instead of the reality that we could be living. And so I feel like it's almost as if Spirit is asking you to, again, like relentlessly follow your intuition and that divine guidance, which might feel really scary right now, but it's only taking you to better things. And that's what this trust is about. And like the support card, like I feel like it's knowing that you will be like very supported each and every step of the way. You're not alone. Like you're going to have everything you need on this path, but you're going to be required to invest in it before it exists, to believe in it before you create it, which is definitely the key to manifesting. So that makes a lot of sense. But I feel like this is just kind of confirmation, whatever it is that you're wanting or that you're trying to create, or whatever this is about, like you can have it. There's not a doubt about that. It's not about whether or not you can have it. It's about whether or not you're going to do what you need to create it. And I feel like for the collective that I'm talking about, you're pretty damn set on creating it. So I don't think that it's going to be an issue. It's just, there are always going to be setbacks and challenges and obstacles and times where we believe it's not happening. But during those periods, you know, the more that we show up for it, that's where we actually create it. At least in my experience, you know, going from having essentially being at the lowest I've ever been to being able to create a life beyond my wildest dreams. Like, I work, you know, 12 to 15 hours a week, and I make enough money to support my lifestyle, and I'm married to the love of my life. Like, there are so many things in my life that I did not think was possible before. And so I settled in a lot of areas because I truly didn't believe that there was a life out there that I could have that aligned with my desires. And sometimes we don't realize that we're doing it, because it's hard for us, again, to believe that things are possible that we've never experienced. So that's why sometimes we really are being asked to believe in what feels seemingly impossible. But anyway, I'm going to hop on over to the extended. We're going to dive deeper into these messages and look at what you need to do right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self. So this reading was what you need to know. The extended is what you need to do. So focusing on some more tangible advice. And then I got an advice card for you at the very end. Thank you so much, Libra, as always, for your support of my channel. I do obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, Libra, I wish you nothing but love and healing and all of the wonderful things that you deserve and desire on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Libra.